All right, let's go ahead and talk about the top 10 stocks to pay attention to this week. I really hope that you guys learned something new, and if you do, please consider dropping a thumbs up and subscribing. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. One of the biggest focuses for me this week is the CPI data report. That's going to be on November 14th, which is, again, on Tuesday, 1 hour before the market opens Eastern time, right? So please make sure that you are aware of that 1 hour before the market opens. CPI data report is going to be released. That's the inflation report. Again, just another reason to subscribe to the channel because, yes, we will be live streaming it for free, watching the market react, most likely overreact to whatever it is that's being reported. If inflation shows that it's coming or that it's going up more than what was expected, then again, we could see the markets drop, right? If inflation is coming down and it shows that inflation is cooling, that can help the Federal Reserve not need another rate hike in the month of December, which can be great and it should cause the market to react in a positive way. So it's one of my favorite times out of the month to watch the market react to such a influential economic report, right? So again, Tuesday, 1 hour before the market opens. I hope that you guys are ready for that. Also wanted to make sure that you were aware, overall NASDAQ market, looks like NASDAQ futures right now have pulled back a little bit from the highs that were made on Friday. So we're retracing back a little bit from highs of 15.6 to right now a little bit below 15.55. So it looks like it's down about 0.34%, which means that the overall NASDAQ market would be down or TQQQ would be down maybe 1%. So again, nothing too significant there. Let's go ahead and again, if you have a top stock that you would like me to break down, all I literally ask you to do is in the live chat that you see on the right-hand side of your screen, you should be able to participate and share any ticker symbol that you would like me to break down. You do have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel to ask any questions. So what about American Airlines? Very quickly, I've already broken down American Airlines. I uploaded the video yesterday, and I broke down my entire plan. So what I'm waiting for is on the 4-hour time frame. We've been showing signs of a consistent descending pattern, lower highs, lower lows, no confirmation above the moving average. So for me, I don't care if it's at 1170 or if it's at $5, right? If it's not indicating signs of an uptrend, if it's not showing consistent signs of progress, making higher highs and higher lows, there's no reason for me to buy the position, right? And it looks like as of right now, we're still getting rejected by that same resistance level on the moving average. So to me, again, it's still more of a sell or wait than it is a buy. So again, something that we'll have to follow up with. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So we got Droid asking me to break down Nvidia. I appreciate that. Hopefully we earn your thumbs up on this video. And again, you guys let me know what you think in the live chat, but based off of oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought levels. Again, just on the straight technical side, right? I would say a lot of this has to be dependent on what economic data is released in the next few days will pretty much determine and how it's released, right? If it comes in better than what was expected or worse than what was expected, will determine if we actually end up pulling on back. But on the technical side, we are 100%, in my opinion, overbought. We could see that the RSI is at 73. The MACD has been messed up already, but based off of recent patterns, we tend to get rejected anytime that it gets close to the 490 range, and it doesn't really hold up here for a long period of time, and it tends to retrace back down to the low 400s. So again, if you were just to ask me in a very simple way, is this a buy or is this more of a sell? To me, this is more of a sell based off of previous resistance levels and how it's gotten rejected before, especially right before a major economic report such as the inflation report that's going to be released on Tuesday. I just would view it to be too risky for me to want to enter a position that's already overbought and the upside potential does not outweigh the downside risk. Something to take into consideration, right? But you let me know what you think. What about SoFi? I like this. I like that you're asking about SoFi. So Sofi Technologies is a little bit more on the oversold side, on the technical side, but it's been showing signs of lower highs and lower lows. This does come at a greater form of risk because if you look at the moving average and if you were to put an arrow at the end of it, it's a descending pattern. Lower highs, lower lows. This thing is continuously and consistently losing money since the highs of $11.70. Just something to be aware of, right? Yes, it could find its support here. Yes, it could try to run up a little bit above the moving average and then it gets rejected. But again, anytime that direction is not in your favor, it just adds another layer of risk. It's not impossible. It's not that you can't make money on it. It's just that direction is just not in your favor. So your entries, your exits, and your form of risk management has to be that much better. And if you're a beginner and maybe you're someone that's just getting started, then just maybe this isn't the type of conditions you want to expose yourself to, right? Very simple. It's just being aware of what you're getting yourself into. So let's go ahead and break down some more. Again, if you guys are just tuning on in, make sure you drop a thumbs up. And if you want me to break down your top stock, share it in the live chat. Just share the ticker symbol. I'd be more than happy to break it down for you, but you do have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel to partake in that live chat. So JBLU. All right, JBLU. So that should be JetBlue. I would assume that you're looking at this because I was looking at American Airlines, or I'm not too sure what would cause this. I mean, this, you would just hope that it would be like a dead cat bounce, right? That it sold off so much that you just hope that all of a sudden it begins to rally. To me, like, I choose to stay away from stocks like this. It's a consistently bearish trade, right? Lower highs, lower lows. It's getting rejected by the moving average. No, confirmation of a reversal here. It is literally continuously getting rejected. And again, if something is consistently losing money, why are you eager to buy something to then therefore lose more money, right? It literally just doesn't make sense when you break it down that way. But you're like, oh, well, Ricky, what if it begins to bounce? But what if it doesn't, right? That's the way that I would contradict that. It's very, very simple. If it actually begins to indicate signs of an uptrend, then yes, that would be a different story. Breaking above the moving average, trading above $4.70 and showing signs of progress, even something like this. At that point, it's an active uptrend, and it could make sense for maybe, if you know how to manage your position size and manage your risk. Okay, right, it's still a risky trade, but so be it. But when something is so consistently selling off, I cannot say this enough, the amount of times that I got caught on the bad side of a trade, thinking that I found the bottom of a stock, and then all it does is it continues to sell off, right? Just something to take into consideration, to look out for yourself. Your job is not to be perfect. You'll never be perfect. Your entries and your exits will never be perfect. I would rather be late to a rally than early to a sell-off. Again, something that I really like to share with my LPP team. Let's go ahead and break down Tesla. What's going on, Victor? I appreciate you tuning on in. I wanted to ask you guys, how many of you guys are entering the BMW giveaway during our prize week, right? Let me know in the live chat. But on the 4-hour time frame, Tesla looks like it was retracing back down to that $200 price point. And if the market begins to sell off again, I don't mind breaking down these stocks, obviously, because we host these Sunday stock talks on a weekly basis. But I want to remind you, this technical analysis means nothing when fundamentals come into play, right? And this Tuesday, when the CPI data report gets released, that is more important than any technical, right? Because it doesn't matter how overbought or how oversold something is. So I think that Tesla is looking bearish. The moving average is pointing down. It's been struggling to find its support. Lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, hopefully it begins to recover. But if not, who cares? Let this thing shoot down to 190. Let it sell off to 170, right? Allow the opportunity to present itself. Let the cheap get cheaper, right? Why are you in a rush to overpay? And that's the way that I'm viewing it right now, is with these really important economic reports that are about to be released, and markets are already overbought, right? If we look at QQQ, markets are extremely overbought, right? It's not something that should catch you by surprise. So can it continue to run? Of course, if the economic data supports it. That's going to be released on Tuesday, right? The one that I'm paying the most attention to, the CPI data report. But other than that, it's like, why not stay patient enough? I know a handful of you might be under the PDT rule. Why waste any day trades when the big opportunity might happen on Tuesday, right? So just another thing to take into consideration is that, yes, have your plan. Yes, formulate your opinions. But again, just like the mistake that I made on Friday, don't allow your opinions about the market on what you think it should be doing overwhelm your trade decisions. At the end of the day, the market's going to do what it wants to do, regardless of how you see it to be or how you think it should be, right? And I've always learned the hard way, right? And I just really hope that from my lessons, you don't have to take that same kind of loss. But I learned best from and you guys have to let me know if it's something that, works with you as well. But I always learn best by experiencing it myself. All I can ever encourage you to do is to size down, right? As you're learning and as you're testing and practicing new things, never be afraid to try it, but do it in a calculated way. Maybe instead of trading with $1,000, you size down and you trade with, $50 or $100, something where it's much easier to tolerate if the trade doesn't go according to plan. Again, it's not as exciting, but it also doesn't cost you as much to learn that same lesson. Make sense? So I didn't want to take too much of your guys' time. I just wanted to make sure that I made you aware of where the NASDAQ market is right now. The NASDAQ market is down 0.34%. And I wanted to make sure that you guys were all aware of the CPI data report that we're going to be live streaming 1 hour before the market opens at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, November 14th. Other than that, yes, I'm excited for the different stocks that were shared, but I want to remind you, it literally does not matter what they're doing right now because direction can completely change. Market sentiment can completely change in just a minute after these economic reports are released. That is how powerful they are. If this economic report comes out and it shows that inflation is much higher than what was expected, the market could drop hard because at that point, the Federal Reserve can support, based off of what was just released with that economic data, that they can raise interest rates more in the month of December. So remember, this economic report, we're trying to see it through the eyes of the Federal Reserve. The market doesn't want more rate hikes. So we need to make sure that this report comes in as expected or lower than what was expected. And if it comes in higher, then again, you cannot be surprised by a negative reaction. But don't worry, we're going to be covering it all in our live stream on Tuesday, and I hope to see you there. Other than that, again, I do trade live every single morning. If you guys want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, again, I do it every single day. It's the second link in the description down below, or you can head on over to learnplanprofit.com or .net and learn a little bit more about our team and see if it's a good fit for you. If you have any questions whatsoever, even if you just want to say what's up, it literally doesn't matter. Shoot me a direct message via Discord or via Instagram, and that's the first or third link in the description down below. And the last thing that I want to do is I want to remind you of our BMW giveaway. For those that are unaware, we're having our prize week, which means that any order from November 10th to 19th gets a prize. So that's the whole point of prize week, is that you get 10x entries for the BMW M4 or 50K. But on top of that, you get one of these prizes or cash in your order. And again, a majority of the orders are getting cash, but at least a few every day are getting some of these prizes, depending, of course, of how many orders we end up getting. But the whole point of this is we get rid of all of these prizes, and the only people that get these prizes are the people that enter our BMW M4 giveaway. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to message me if you want to enter that giveaway. Again, it's going to be the fourth link in the description down below. I appreciate your time. Hope that earned a thumbs up. We'll see you tomorrow at Market Open for our live trading session. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.